Honorable Men Discord. Hit Boy and Nas are no more. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, if you don't know me, here's an introduction. I love rap music. I was raised on rap music. And my favorite MC, my favorite artist is Nas. Is there some Queens bias? Absolutely. But outside of the fact that I'm from Queens also, his wordplay, I was raised on it. From playing basketball in the streets, sun up to sundown, to the Illmatic album, to It Was Written, when I had my first job, working fast food for Nathan's Famous. Those who know, it was the Nathan's Famous that was inside of the Home Depot in Flushing, Queens. Now, I'm not going to make this about me. I'm going to go straight to it. The video I have beside me is Hit Boy, who sat down in an interview. I don't know if this was courtesy of Vlad TV or if this is Elliot Wilson's platform. But nevertheless, Hit Boy sat down with both Elliot Wilson and Vlad, and he said he doesn't see himself working with Nas again. So I'm going to play that, and I'm just going to play some clips that I have queued up of Hit Boy speaking about working with Nas, prior to this, and Nas speaking about what it was like working with Hit Boy. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit further, my thoughts on all of this. So let's just get straight to it.
A lot of great work, but I don't see us working again.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Was there a reason why you're not working again?
I mean, it's a lot of reasons, but it's something I just really don't want to dig too deep in because it's just like pretty deep, But it's like, respect to what we did get accomplished in 3 years.
So to me, the big challenge, though, is like, we obviously reveal Nas is one of the greatest MCs, right, that exists.
Yeah.
I think in still many ways, you're still very underrated as a rapper, right?
I feel like I'm underrated as a producer, too, bro. I feel like almost all producers is pretty much underrated because the average person is only looking at the star, looking at their style and looking at what they doing. They don't even understand really what a beat is doing and what it is. Like, you know what I mean? They just like, even down to like, oh, whoop-de-whoop, this rapper sampled this old song. Nigga, the producer sampled the song and made the beat, you know what I mean? It's like the average person is gonna say it like that. So I feel like we all still just fighting to really make this production thing respected as it should be. We did a lot of great work, but I don't see us working again,
Okay, just repeat it. Listen, I came across this just before getting ready for work. And when he first said, I don't see myself working with him again, my heart stopped. Because I said to myself, I hope Hit Boy is not talking about Nas. And then I continued watching, and he was talking about Nas. So my heart stopped. Then my heart stopped again when asked, why exactly are you not going to work with him? And he said there's several. I think he said several. There's many reasons, or something like that. I'm just paraphrasing. That was even more heartbreaking to hear because I'm like, I can only imagine what the reasons are that he's no longer going to work with Nas. Now, listen, they put together 6 phenomenal projects, in my opinion. The King's Disease trilogy, the Magic trilogy, amazing. I have, I want to say I have King's Disease 2 on vinyl. I have to think about it. I have starting to collect vinyl. So I have King's Disease 2 on vinyl. I don't believe it's signed. It's not one of my signed vinyl, but I had planned on getting King's Disease 1, especially because that's a special one. That's Nas's first Grammy. So that's still on my list to get King's Disease 1. But honestly, I would get all 6 albums. But it's one thing to say we did all that we needed to do, and no time in the near future are we going to work again, but leave that room for working. And there's another thing with him saying, I don't see us working again. And it's because of several reasons. What would make him say that in the interview? I don't know. But if there's several reasons, and he said he doesn't want to get into it because it's a little personal, I can only imagine what happened. I could speculate right now, but I'm not going to do that. I'm pretty sure all of you watching this episode, you can speculate. If he says several reasons, what would make two working men not work anymore? There's only so many things. And if it's several reasons, one, I will say, I hope it's not about finances and not being compensated properly. I hate hearing artists, whether it be rappers, producers. I hate when I hear artists have to go to the internet, go on radio stations and talk about how they weren't compensated or how they were taken advantage of through contracts. I don't like hearing that. I think everyone deserves their just payment, their just credits. And for those of you artists watching this episode, do good business. I'm just a fan of good business. I do not like business getting in the way of a project. As an artist myself, the last thing I would want to ever happen is to have a disagreement or for bad business to dilute or damage the frequency of the magic that's taking place in the studio, the creative magic. And if it's about if it's about business, it's disappointing to hear. Again, Nas is my favorite rapper, but I'm not one of those people that is gonna side with someone just because I like their music. So if it is a thing about business, bad business, I'm disappointed. There's other things I could imagine are the reasons that I'm not gonna say that because I'm not here to gossip about something that I don't know. I mean, I don't know that it's about business either, right? But they had a working relationship where they did 6 projects, and for you to say I don't see us working again, I would only start with business because that's the relationship you guys had in the beginning. I don't even know if a friendship developed, but it was a business relationship. So that's why I started with speaking on it possibly being a business issue. But I'm not gonna expound on that because I don't know. He chose not to speak on it. But I'm still disappointed. I don't like to hear about things like that because especially after the Premier project, and I like what Premier did, but after hearing 6 projects from Hit Boy, I was spoiled. I personally was spoiled. I thought the production was phenomenal. The change-ups were phenomenal. I feel like he challenged Nas on throughout the projects, on both the trilogy for King's Disease and the trilogy for Magic. I felt like Nas was challenged. There was range. I know some people that just absolutely didn't care for it, and I was shocked. I was like, how do you not like this? One minute, people are saying Nas he's not good at beat selection, and the next minute they're saying they didn't like anything from the King's Disease or the Magic. I'm like, how is that possible when they gave you a little bit of everything? There's something for everyone in those projects, in all 6 albums. But to each his own. Even Vlad, in a longer edition to this video that I played, even Vlad brought up the fact that in the past he has gone on record to say Nas is not a great beat selector, and I disagree with that. I know there's some people that they hold that statement as a true statement, but I don't agree with that. But again, Hit Boy said, I don't see us working again. Now, being that he said that to Vlad and Elliot Wilson, and I hope I'm saying Elliot's name correctly. I believe it's Elliot Wilson. But especially the fact that he said that to Vlad, whatever interview he does after this, I'm pretty sure it's going to go viral and people are going to ask him, what is going on with you and Nas? And he may continue to say, I'm not going to talk about it, but now everybody wants to know. I want to know. I personally want to know because the connection in the music was amazing. But let me go into the other things I have queued up. This next thing I have queued up was from Nas. I believe this is like the first time he heard the beat for for Speechless, which is one of my favorite from The Magic. All right, just listen to this beat, and hopefully it doesn't get flagged by YouTube. If you don't hear a beat, it's because it got flagged by YouTube and I had to remove the beat. But let's get into it. Incredible. Look at Nas's face. Listen, if I walked into a studio and that beat was playing, I'd go bananas. Hit Boy's, that's a bad dude in a good way. Hit Boy's incredible. Here's Hit Boy speaking about Nas. He's being interviewed by Kid Cudi, and this is I want to say better times. All right, so let's get into it.
Talk about the Nas link up. How did that happen?
I actually seen one of my homies like doing some work with Nas, and he like posted Nas on his story in the studio, and I just was like, yo, bro, I need you to bring Nas through. I got hella beats right now. He actually brought him through. We cooked the first day. We made like 3 ideas, started some stuff, and he was like, man, I'm gonna keep coming back and rocking with you. And I'm just thinking like, this Nas, he probably not gonna keep pulling up, and he just kept pulling up, working, and just kept doing, every time he slide, he do a hook, do a verse, do a whole song, whatever it is, and we just put out 80 songs in 3 years. You know what I mean? Man. Just gunning, having fun. That was like practice for me. And obviously, like with the rap, I got way better at rapping, watching Nas rap for 100 verses, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's like good training, man.
I didn't even know Kid Cudi did interviews, but again, better times. Hit Boy speaking highly of Nas. And if you do your own due diligence, your own research, you'll see there's plenty of videos and interviews where Hit Boy spoke highly of Nas. Nas did the same also. Nas, plenty of interviews, old interviews you could find of Nas speaking highly of Hit Boy, which is why, again, when I came across this just before getting ready for work, I was highly, extremely disappointed. I'm still disappointed. All right, if you feel just as disappointed as I am, I'll see you in the comment section, especially if you're a Nas fan. I'm disappointed.
A lot of times I walk in the studio and his headphones is on. He like, yo, check this out. It's something he's already working on. And as soon as I hear it, it's like, that's the one. He's like my Quincy, you know what I mean? He has that, he's pushing himself thing, so it becomes, I feel like the next thing I do, if I was to work with Hit Boy on the next thing I do, I think that we might do something that is gonna be behind the curtain. A lot of times
he called him his Quincy. I mean, it doesn't get the praise doesn't get higher than that. Nas literally called Hit Boy his Quincy. And if you saw the Michael Jackson movie, you know that even Michael and Quincy, their reign came to an end, and Michael decided to go elsewhere, try something new. And although he was still successful, Michael Jackson's, I want to say, best material was arguably the material he did with Quincy Jones. And we could talk about that at a separate time, or we could talk about it in the comment section, but I didn't want to make this about Michael Jackson. But again, Nas said Hit Boy was like his Quincy. So what exactly happened between the two gentlemen? I am highly disappointed. I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed. Hopefully time will correct whatever went wrong, because I would like at some point, again, even if it's a single, even if he does something along the lines of like what he did with Kanye West, where he put out a project with only like 7 songs, I would like to hear some more of what Hit Boy and Nas could put together, because Hit Boy, he has range to me. I know some people might not feel the same way, but I think he has a tremendous range. You don't know what to expect from him. I spoke to some people and they say, Hit Boy's sound is predictable. And I disagree. Again, did you really listen to all 3 albums from King's Disease and then listen to all 3 albums from Magic, because I think he's a phenomenal, excellent, magnificent producer. Listen, if Hit Boy was to hit me up, I'm going. I'm going. I would have to make albums with Hit Boy because he's just that incredible. And I understand why Nas would say that's his Quincy, because again, his range is incredible. Incredible. I would let, if I had an opportunity to work with Hit Boy, I would completely let him tailor the way the sound of the album, the theme of the album, because he knows what he's doing. And the change-ups that he's done on the albums, I love that too, because he doesn't necessarily play a track all the way through. He switches it up, which that makes things interesting, and I like that. Game did that on this recent project that he dropped for Documentary 3. He had some change-ups. I think he was working with Cool and Dre. I didn't see the producer credits, but I saw Cool and Dre were on some of the songs, but that's a whole nother story too. I could even talk about that, but I don't want to go off of Hit Boy and Nas. Highly disappointed. What's your thoughts on all this? What is your thoughts on all this? Are you disappointed? Do you not care? Do you not care for Nas's music, period? Do you not care for Hit Boy's sound? Let me know in the comment section. As always, I appreciate all of you. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And as always, stay honorable.